there's something about turning 50 that makes you reevaluate where you are. Is this really the way I want to continue the rest of my life? And then some of us step into that space, some of us don't.
Did you push record?
Thanks so much for tuning into Our Second Act with Paige and Silka. Today, our focus returns to recreating or reinventing our life after 50. And I'm so happy to welcome a new content expert to Second Act TV, professional life and business coach, Donna Bond. Donna, thank you so much for joining us.
Silka, thank you so much for having me. It's really my honor to be here today. Thank you.
Well, I am very excited to have you. We obviously focused recreating life after 50 is what this platform is all about, and everything that goes along with it. And, we've had different coaches, different psychologists on. Everybody brings their uniqueness to this process. And what I love about yours is the whole idea of spiritual psychology.
Yeah.
I was a psych major, I love all that. The spirituality is a huge component in where we are in life right now. And that's what we want to talk about, is that as we get pulled, there's something about turning 50 that makes you reevaluate where you are. Is this really the way I want to continue the rest of my life? And then some of us step into that space, some of us don't. And that's where I want you to explain to us why we do and why we don't.
Well, thank you. I woke up at the age of 45. I was at the top of my career. I was working for a really prestigious company, and I had it all. I had money, I had success, I had notoriety, and I had never been so miserable. And really that deep feeling of purposelessness and, unfulfillment. And on the advice of a psychic, and this is a true story, on the advice of a psychic whom I went to and said, literally crying to her, I need to find my purpose. And she said, Donna, they're spelling it out for me, spiritual psychology. And I said, what in the hell is spiritual psychology? So she gave me, she said, there's 3 universities that have a program in this. And she gave me the first 2, which were both in Northern California. And we got sidetracked and we never talked about the third one. So, of course, I went home and consulted the real oracle, Google, and quickly found my way to the University of Santa Monica, where Doctors Ron and Mary Holnick have really been the pioneers for spiritual psychology for the last 40 years. And against all logic, I enrolled myself in this master's program. And it was through that program that I have literally transformed my entire life from the inside out. So what is spiritual psychology? It's really a technology that teaches us that everything that's happening in our life is happening for us. That every single thing that we encounter, that we experience, the good, the bad, the ugly, and like what I like to say, the super wicked ugly, it's all an opportunity being given to us to create a platform by which we have the choice to learn, to grow, to expand, to uplift, to find our way into our next level of evolution.
No, that's fascinating, and that's exactly where so many of us, we find ourselves, but we're very hesitant. That's one thing, Donna, is that women lose, and this is documented in studies, we lose our confidence at like 51 for some reason. That's a magical number, and then we're confronted with this pull to really want to find our purpose and passion, and we're scared.
Yeah, I hear you. So the beautiful thing about spiritual psychology, and I think where we get the spiritual lens on it, is the notion, the idea, what I would refer to as the spiritual truth, the universal truth, that we are all spiritual beings having a human experience and not the other way around. And we're so over-identified with our physical bodies. We're so over-identified with our minds that we disempower ourselves on a regular basis because our egos essentially are sort of running the show of our life. You know, our ego is in the front seat of our car, and our ego's modus of operandi is safety, security, comfort, and control. And so all the decisions we make, the way that we navigate life, when we are ruled by our ego or our, you know, even our personality, our learned self, those are the four primary concerns. And so the choices that we make when we're only worried about safety, security, comfort, and control are going to look very, very different than choices we might make when we are following our heart, following what brings us joy, that natural enthusiasm that sort of bubbles up inside of us. That is our spirit. And we have this internal compass that is our built-in navigation system. And it is that internal compass that is always leading us to what's next. And, you know, this is why I wanted to share a little bit about traversing transformation, because people don't know what to expect. And I really did not know what to expect when I entered into this program in spiritual psychology. And we want to have this grand plan. We want to have all the A's, B's, and Z's lined out. We want to know what our return on the investment is going to be. We want to know what it's going to look like, when it's going to happen, how long it's going to take. Those are all concerns of the ego.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Right. Good luck with that. I, in my own experience, went from being a top-level corporate marketing executive to today being a soul-centered professional life and business coach, a transformation consultant, and really someone who is leading my own life through the practices that I now teach. And it's easy, it's graceful, it's elegant, it's in the flow. And the way I got there was by taking one step at a time. Like, we take one step and then the next step becomes illuminated. And the next step isn't going to become illuminated unless we're willing to take that first step.
Yeah. Donna, these segments go by so fast. I think this is a perfect precursor for when we want to get deeper into what that process is. This beautiful little graphic that I'll pull up that we'll talk about in our next segment. I think what I'd like to have our audience take away here is that if, as you said, the compass, I call it like the voices in your head. If you're being pulled and it just won't shut up, you know that there's something in you that you need to find, that you're not going crazy. Because at one point I thought I was. What am I going to do? I'm going to change my whole life after 50? No, it's normal. And you're right there where you've meant to be. Donna, I'd like you to close. What would you like to leave behind on this segment for our viewers?
I would like to leave behind that following that voice is oftentimes completely illogical. And that is a reason to trust it. That is a reason to trust it.
I love that. That's absolutely true. And by the way, I will link to all of Donna's information so you can get anybody that would like to can get in touch with her. She has workshops. She has one-on-one coaching. And again, Donna will leave all that so anybody that would like to can get in touch with you. So we'll see you in our next segment where we'll go a little bit deeper here into the traversing transformation. Did I say that right?
Traversing transformation. You sure did. Okay. Thank you, Silka.
Okay,
Thanks so much.
See you in a minute. Bye. For more more videos on recreating your life after 50, please visit our website, secondact.tv. And if you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Here's the button. See you next time.